We're getting close to the end of the devotional series on words, but today's is called 4 No's. It's 4 types of words we are to eliminate from our vocabulary or the way that we speak. And it's found in 1 Corinthians and also in Ephesians, where there's a lot to say about words and what we speak. The first kind are persuasive words. The second are human wisdom words. The third are unintelligible words. And the fourth are empty words. So persuasive, human wisdom, unintelligible, and empty words are not to be part of our vocabulary. Let's look at persuasive words first. We see them all the time in advertising. We must have this for spring. It's a must-have. Or what about this is a limited time offer that incites panic, that if we don't hit the buy button, the offer's going to go away. Paul says his preaching was not with persuasive words. Persuasive words can be used in preaching. Maybe you've heard them as children, words to incite fear if you don't believe, or words to stir you to action and make you feel guilty if you don't give. Next mentioned are human wisdom words, and what do those look like? Maybe they're quotes from famous people, which are great for emphasis, but we're not to hang our hat on them. They might even be words spoken from someone that's experienced God in a certain way, and therefore they box him in and tell us that God's like that with everyone. A human spin on the ways of the world to help us cope, those might be human wisdom words. Unintelligible words are words that are not understood. Remember we talked about in Nehemiah how the people understood the words they heard and therefore they listened and responded? The writer here compares those sorts of words to playing an instrument, where you play an instrument but it's a sour note and it doesn't string together to make a melody at all. Those kinds of sounds makes one want to cover their ears. And the last type are empty words, and we're to stay away from those. These are words that lack substance or truth. Right before that, it's talking about foolish talk and coarse joking, words that have no quality of goodness to them. So if we're to stay away from those 4 kinds of words, what are we supposed to speak and hear? We definitely hear persuasive words, human wisdom words, unintelligible words, and empty words in this world that thrives on those kinds of words. And if that's all we hear, it might explain why we feel so empty ourselves. So instead, here's what we need to speak and hear. Instead of persuasive words, Paul says he came with fear and trembling and only spoke as the Spirit prompted him. And because he had the mind of Christ, he spoke what he heard the Father say, just like Jesus did. Not to convince or persuade, but just to hear what the Father says and to repeat it in love. And instead of human wisdom words, standing on these in the time of crisis, we must never have as our mantra some saying that someone said. It might be nice to have "don't worry, be happy" in the lyrics of a song, but if we don't tell people how we know why we can cast our care on someone to be happy and who that someone is, those words don't hold water. Instead of unintelligible words that no one can understand, let's make sure that the words we're listening to and the words we speak are understood. This instruction came in the context of instructing others. 5 words spoken from the Father's heart, words of truth and love, are better than 10,000 words of any kind. And finally, who wants to sit and listen to empty words? It says empty words are deceitful because they lead us in a path of disobedience. Wow, I think one of the hardest things in life is knowing what to say when someone is experiencing loss. We all stumble, and we often offer cliches or our own spin on things like Job's friends did, of human wisdom, or we often don't even know what to say. And sometimes we even dare to offer judgment or persuasive words to get that person to see things our way or God's way, because we think we know what He's up to in their lives or even our own. This is a sobering devotional to all of us, myself included. Speaking the Father's heart in truth and love with understanding and being full of the Spirit is hard. But the words are usually short and full of grace, much like Jesus' words when He spoke to those He encountered. Don't let your hearts be troubled. I'm with you always. I'm the way, the truth, and the life. Come, follow me, forgive. May we all pray and be aware of all the kinds of words we say and listen to, and make every effort to have the mind and voice of Christ and say no to persuasive words, human wisdom words, empty words, and unintelligible words.